Hello and welcome to day 16 of the CoronaBLOG, April the 8th. The aims are to learn some English, to escape from our daily routine and to see the situation in Italy from the outside and looking back in. My name is Brophy. Here is some background information and a little of what I currently do. Today we're going to look at a key term. The key term is quarantine, one of the key words in coronavirus, quarantine. This is a state or a period of isolation where people or animals who have arrived from one place and going to another place have to stay for some time before they can mix with people in the new place. What's the etymology of this? Well, quarantine comes from quarantena, meaning 40 days, and the origin is Italian, but more specifically the Venetian language, the Venetian dialect, and refers to a period of time that ships were required to be isolated, and it originated during the Black Death plague epidemic, so quite topical. We're going to look at a key person today. The key person is Luca Zaia. Okay, he was born in 1968. Okay, and he's the president of Veneto and has been the president of Veneto for 10 years, Veneto region. Veneto's success. At the end of February, both Lombardy and Veneto, these two regions in the north of Italy, both had their first cases of coronavirus on the same day. Okay, background information, Lombardy is more or less twice the size in terms of population compared to Veneto. Up until a couple of days ago, look at the number of deaths, astonishingly different. What's the reason or the reasons behind the success of the Veneto response? The number of tests is seen as one. Okay, so again, looking at the difference in population, we can see that Lombardy has had slightly more tests than Veneto, but proportionately Veneto has had far more. The location of the tests. Where are the tests held? In Lombardy, they tended, it's changing now, but they tended to be held in hospitals. People were traveling to the hospital to have the test. Okay, Veneto took a different approach. With Luca Zaia, they organized drive-through centers outside the hospital, keeping infected people away from the hospitals. Veneto, going back to its even origins of the very word, has a lot more experience in treating infectious diseases. Hospitals. In Lombardy, many people were taken to hospital, whereas in Veneto, the number of people hospitalized was far lower. The result of this was many medical staff in Lombardy were infected, and obviously they then spread the disease around the hospital, affecting those already with underlying health conditions. There's a political pressure, some claim, in Lombardy to hospitalize due to a different format in the way that hospitals are organized between the private and the state. Moving on to the UK, an alarming report came out a couple of days ago predicting that by the end of the coronavirus period, around August, we think, the UK will have over 66,000 deaths. This is a report coming from the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation in Seattle. Here we can see the graph going from where we are today of around several hundred, many hundreds, approaching 1,000 deaths a day. The predicted peak, according to the model, is on the 17th of April of nearly 3,000 deaths a day in the UK. This will put the UK, according to the predictions, as the second most affected country in the world in terms of deaths, and more significantly, more than all of the 4 major EU countries, Italy, Spain, France and Germany, combined. Let's see what happens. Okay, for today we've looked at quarantine, we've looked at Luca Zaia, We've seen the analysis of Veneto and Lombardy, and we've seen this alarming report from the UK looking at a prediction of anything up to 66,000 deaths by August. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.